the show.
Yes, hello. My name is Luke Resser.
I am Seth Hawkins.
And I am Sam Vasseur.
And we would like to collectively thank you and welcome you to the debut, seminal, very first episode of Shooting the Breeze.
Yes, Shooting the Breeze is a variety talk show that we're going to have. And each episode we're going to focus on one major topic, but we're going to also switch it up with different categories. A lot of fun to be had.
This week's topic is firsts. Everything firsts. That's what it is.
It's beginnings, new beginnings. This is the very first episode of this show.
And we just thought, oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so first, we will start with our quote of the day.
Today's quote of the day is as follows. I don't believe in politics. I'm an anarchist, I guess you could say. I think people could be just fine looking after themselves. And that comes from Woody Harrelson of Cheers fame.
And I think that really exemplifies our episode today. Okay, so what do you guys think about firsts?
Well, if I may, go on.
Go ahead.
To me, the word first has many meanings. The first meaning that it has is it's beginning things. It's the first of a series, number one. And I think, everything has a beginning, and everything also has an end.
And that's where I would like to come in.
Go on. Please, go on.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Endings may sometimes be sad, but to start a new beginning, you must have an ending. The circle of life.
We start things knowing that they have to end one day.
Yes. And when you use that mindset, then I would argue that nothing truly ends.
Wow. Okay.
You want to talk about some significant first in our life?
Well,
Yes.
I was going to say, Seth, thank you.
You're very welcome.
One first that many of us have recently experienced is the first day of school. Now,
First day of school, yes.
many people on their first day of school are greeted with a sense of joy.
Are we talking about first day of school each year or first day
Just
of...
first day of school in general.
Okay.
I remember.
Not first day of, kindergarten.
Well, that too, of course. I mean, whenever there's a first, even beyond just the first day of school, first day of kindergarten, or, first day of elementary school, first day of middle school, first day of high school.
Can I talk about my first day of high school?
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
Please do.
I remember I was driven by my brother. I walked in to the arches of McCracken County High School, much like I had always dreamed. I walk in, sit down in the auditorium. My young little eyes, what am I looking at? I look to see a horse. Not a real horse, but a costumed horse. I'm pretty sure it was representing our school mascot.
The Mustang.
Okay, yes. I'm glad for the confirmation.
Can we
listen.
get confirmation? Quickly. Yes, I'm here. Yes, the Mustang. Go on.
The Mustang is our school mascot.
Yes,
okay. I see a Mustang, and I think this is just a regular Mustang. In fact, it was Principal Michael Siglinski in the horse costume, and he was disguised, but he revealed himself and began to moonwalk, and that was my experience with the first day of school.
It's a bit of a, if you will, a Trojan horse tactic.
Yes, he was really trying to throw us off our ball game.
I
really.
know he threw me for a loop. Allow me to interject here. I also remember my first day of high school. I was very young, about a few years younger, in fact. I was a freshman, actually, at this time.
A spry 13 or 14.
And I remember this day because my brother drove me to school this day.
Bonding.
And my brother was a member of many extracurricular clubs. One of these clubs that my brother was a part of had a meeting on the first day of school. And so, not to my knowledge, but my brother had to come early.
Ah, did he dupe you?
Yes, you could say he did dupe me. And so, my brother leaves for his club, and I was left alone to defend myself in a strange, alien new place, McCracken County High School.
What grade was your brother?
He was a senior.
So,
He's
beginnings and endings.
exactly. Almost poetically, as I was beginning my high school life,
He was ending.
ending his.
And some information I've obtained says he was the vice president of FCA.
That's true. He was the vice president. He was under Josh Grogan.
Okay.
Spent a good bit of his high school career under Josh Grogan.
Can I say something? Every day we miss the presence of Josh Grogan and Barton Christmas on the morning announcements.
I remember.
You feel it.
Yeah, I remember feeling an absence because I remember the first time that I heard Barton Christmas and Josh Grogan. I said, these boys here, these are two boys that have got it figured out.
Yes, when I realized that Josh Grogan was a student, in fact, and he was going to graduate and leave McCracken County High School, I tried to...
Wait, what's that? Welcome to Pop Culture with Luke. On this segment, we will be exploring entertainment news that relates to multiple topics, multiple different aspects of life. Today, of course, we will be talking about firsts. So, to keep in with the theme of firsts, I have done some research. Yes, research. You boys familiar with research?
Maybe, yes.
I think I'm familiar with the topic.
Yes, thank you. In my research, I wanted to find the beginnings of pop culture, find out how culture became an expressive entity, if you will.
Yes.
And so in my research, I found that one man who is often considered one of the first icons of pop culture is, in fact, famous playwright William Shakespeare. Now, Shakespeare, obviously, famous playwright, known for such plays as Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, The Lion King. And yes, he's often considered one of the first icons of pop culture. Now, that was very interesting to me to hear that, because me personally, bit of a controversial opinion, you see, I've always thought that the play Romeo and Juliet is terrible. I remember when I was a freshman, my first year of high school.
First?
Yes, thank you. We read Romeo and Juliet. It was an adaptation, actually, where it was more modern. So, of course, modernized, not modern in its content, but in its writing. So it was just easier to read. It was still set in that time period. But I remember thinking to myself, this is a dumb story. I mean...
Why do you think that? Expand a little bit.
Romeo begins the story in love with a different girl. And then he sees Juliet and falls in love with her. And I don't remember exactly, but I believe that the girl he was in love with initially didn't love him back. And so he immediately falls in love with Juliet, which is dumb, I will say. But
that doesn't make it a bad story.
I will give it its credit. The concept of the dueling families and the forbidden love does have its, there's interesting things to be done there. But Shakespeare doesn't go anywhere with this. He, the ending with their deaths feels incredibly forced, and it feels like Romeo just wanted to have a sad ending, and so he just came up with them dying.
Question.
Yes.
Have you seen I'm thinking 1994
Let me stop you right
film?
there. I was going to be getting to that. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Yes.
And the lady, Claire Danes.
I was going to be getting to this. I have not seen the film. But I would like to say one thing. Many of Shakespeare's plays have their merit. For example, Hamlet, of course, adapted into the incredible animated film, The Lion King.
Yeah, can I just say, The Lion King is William Shakespeare's best work.
Oh, very much so.
I would agree.
How he even... Cats? who could top like.
I don't see how anyone could have thought of that.
Okay, I'm just sorry.
And
but
I also
thank you.
like how he got Elton John. Because, I mean,
Yes.
it wouldn't have been the same without Elton John.
Elton John's in The Lion King?
Elton John wrote the music for The Lion King, you fool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll cut that out.
And you know,
Yes.
Good.
So, anyway, that's my personal opinion on Shakespeare.
Does Romeo and Juliet follow the hero's journey by Joseph Campbell?
I don't believe it does. I'm familiar with this.
I don't think that always
concept.
makes it a good story.
No.
But I mean, it'd be interesting to point if it doesn't follow that. You know what movie does follow the hero's journey to a T? Space Jam. Why teach Romeo and Juliet in school when you could just show Space Jam?
Thank you. And I think that sums up my point for today. So, I'd like to thank you for joining me at Pop Culture with Luke. And that's all I have for us today.
wait. What's that I hear?
Hello?
We are part of this universe. We are in this universe. But perhaps more important than both of those facts is that the universe is in us. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Thanks, guys. Okay, firsts. Science. Firsts. Science. Science. First. When you think of science, what do you think of? Don't answer. The moon. The moon first. First man on the moon. Today, since we are talking about first, I will be talking about Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon. Okay, and let me repeat, I am getting most of my information for this piece from the trailer for First Man, directed by Damien Chazelle, coming out later this year. Oscar contender? Maybe. Okay, thank you. So Neil Armstrong was born August 5th, 1930 in Wampanoag, Ohio, United States. He died in 2012. Okay. He was a naval aviator, test pilot, and university professor. Little do most people know, Neil Armstrong wasn't supposed to be the first man to walk on the moon. It was actually Buzz Aldrin.
Oh.
But Neil Armstrong became the first man to walk on the moon and said the famous words, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Isn't that crazy? And a little story I'd like to tell about him is this. While working at his farm near Lebanon, Ohio in November 1978, Armstrong jumped off the back of his grain truck and his wedding ring got caught in the wheel, tearing off the tip of his left hand's ring finger. He collected the severed digit and packed it in ice, and surgeons reattached it at the Jewish hospital in Louisville, Kentucky. That's just a story. Yeah, that's just a story about Neil Armstrong, the first man to walk on the moon. Thank you. Science.
Wait.
Science.
I'm sorry? What's that sound?
History.
You know what it is. It is time for a history lesson. Today, mostly in this segment, I'm going to be looking at today in history and what happened on this day in prior years. So, in 1783, I have a story that says the first hot air balloon was set aloft in Versailles, France, with animal passengers, including sheep, rooster, and ducks. Which, this is, I mean, we're talking about first. This is the first hot air balloon. This changed transportation for, I don't know how often you guys take a hot air balloon from.
Well, can I interject here?
Go ahead.
I have never ridden in a hot air balloon. But given the chance, I would.
Would you?
Yes.
Interesting. I have also never ridden. I don't know
But
this segment's.
we all can agree that hot air balloons transformed travel, not
Yeah.
just air travel, and the world would probably, without its invention, the Industrial Revolution probably wouldn't happen,
Yeah.
and maybe the Civil War. Is that a good thing?
Hot air balloon festivals?
I don't know. Yes, I've heard that
non-existent.
I've heard that the hot air balloon festival of Albuquerque, New Mexico, is one of the biggest in the world.
Around
maybe
the world
the
in
biggest.
80
Can you
days?
look that up for me?
Around the
I'll
world
look
in
it
80
up.
days.
Jackie Chan.
Yes. Hot air balloon.
I'm getting from a source that yes, that is true.
Yeah,
The biggest in
We're
the
getting
world.
from a source that yes, that is a true fact.
That is.
Okay. That's
So I would
That's
have to
good.
agree with you, Seth, that aviation and travel, transportation, and I think modern life would not even
Without the hot air balloon,
it wouldn't
you think-
resemble the world.
do you
we
think
have.
we could? Do you think airplanes would have ever became a thing?
Yes.
And this concludes history.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, we have a great treat. So, the game charades is played around the world in small towns and big cities, really unifying the country. And so today, we will be taking that philosophy and applying it to our own show. So, we will be playing a game of charades for you. And you may ask, how do you play charades if it's just audio? Shut up, okay? So, for this game of charades, Seth will be leaving the room. Wait. Now, Seth and I will leave the room while Sam decides what he will be charading.
Okay, guys, I don't want them to hear. But I was really intrigued by Seth's history. So I think I'm going to do hot air balloons. Okay, let's bring them back in.
Sam is standing in the room. His hands are at his sides. And he is wearing khaki shorts and a sweater that is a aquamarine
It's a nice sweater.
that fades into a light gray. And he's wearing white shoes. I believe they're Reeboks. And it is time for him to begin his charades. Sam,
McDonald's.
Sam is his arms are above his head,
ballerina
and
dancing.
he's
Cir-
now drawing a
Up.
circle with his hands.
Hot
He's
air
pointing
balloon.
up into the
Yes,
hot air.
hot
The
air
answer
balloon.
is
That
hot
was
air
quick.
balloon.
Boom.
Seth has won the round. Good job, Seth.
I mean,
Does Sam
what can I
have
say?
another charade?
no, that's it.
And now it is time for Luke to do a special trick.
Yes. So thank you. It's time for my special trick. Let me
Oh boy!
get ready.
All right, don't hurt yourself.
Oh my
Whoa!
god! Whoa, that was really good.
Wow.
Oh my god!
Thanks, guys.
Wow.
What'd you guys think of my trick?
I mean, I don't want to try to follow it up, but I think you could honestly do better.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I like to think of my tricks as performance art in many ways, and
Have you
I
ever
think-
thought about taking it out on the street?
well, I have. I've thought about it, but I've always been too afraid. What's this? I'm getting a call here. We're getting a call live on the air, but allow me to answer. Hello, sir. You're live on Shooting the Breeze. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dykel Babinski, principal of. This is Dykel Babinski, principal of the rival high school. Dykel.
It's an honor.
I'm so mad.
Oh, what are you mad about, Dykel?
I'll tell you. So, I am so mad this week because this last weekend I was at my football game, and the students in the student section were not kept up enough. How are we ever going to win the big games if they're not kept up?
Dykel, I hear you. I hear you, Dykel. Listen, Dykel, I understand you're angry about the kids, but look, the kids, I mean, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. You know, Dykel, a person in your position should know this.
I'm sorry not to manage you. I've been upset recently, and
Daikel.
Daikel, what are you upset about?
Daikel, you're breaking my heart.
I think
Daikel, look, listen, Daikel. Why don't you just look? You gotta clean yourself up, Daikel.
I'll tell you. I have a secret.
What's your secret, Daikel?
I can't tell. I'll tell you next week on the podcast.
All right, that's all for Daikel Babinski today, folks. All right. It is time for trivia. Sam, your first question.
You want to say how we're competing against each other?
Yes. Time for trivia. Seth and Sam are both competing for the title of Trivia Master. Okay? So we will take turns. You boys will both have the options to guess your questions, okay? Now,
I'm ready.
let us begin. Sam, your first question. In the popular children's show Sesame Street, what is the name of the character who is famous for living in a trash can?
I'm gonna go with Oscar.
Yes, that is correct. Sam earns 1 point.
It's a good start.
Seth, your question. In what decade was the Oral Roberts University founded at Tulsa?
Ooh, I'm gonna say 1923.
Seth, I'm sorry, that is incorrect. The answer was 1960s.
Okay.
The score is Seth 0, Sam 1.
Okay, whew.
On to the
I
next
feel like
question.
heating up.
Okay.
I'm very competitive.
Okay. In the animated film Snow White, what does the prince do to wake up the titular character?
This one's hard. I think he gave her a kiss?
Yes, that is correct,
Yes!
Sam.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
2 points to Sam. Back to you, Seth. All right, Seth, your question. Which celebrity was born in Creighton Road, Eltham, in 1903?
Oh. Since we bought him up, I'm just gonna say Elton John, maybe? This is total guess.
That is incorrect. The correct answer was Bob Hope.
Okay, I don't know how I was supposed to know that.
Well,
at all.
not my fault.
It's just something you know.
It's
okay?
like-
okay.
It's just
It's
something.
not. It's not trivia.
Seth,
It's
please.
something you know.
Seth,
Okay.
Okay.
Back-
Fine. Go
back.
back.
Seth,
Go to Sam's
Seth.
question. It's fine.
Sam waited for you. Now, please. Okay, Sam, for your question. What farm animal gives us milk to drink?
Oh, okay. By using deduction. Cow.
Yes, Sam.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Correct. 3 points for Sam.
3. Yes.
All right, Seth,
Mm-hmm.
your question. Your question. Bradley International Airport is in which U.S. state?
I don't know. Missouri.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. The answer is Connecticut.
I feel like mine are a lot harder than
Seth?
Sam's. Like,
Trivia? Can we continue trivia?
Yeah,
I think
go.
trivia's done. No.
no,
I'm too
it's not fair.
Hey.
He's not giving us the
Boys.
same question. It's
Boys.
what website are you even looking on?
Boys.
Are you?
Boys!
Okay, guys, we're back, and
Okay, yes, that's all for trivia today.
and now the audio clip of the day.
So that about sums it up for the first episode of Shooting the Breeze. Thank you all for joining us today.
And first off, I'd like to say thank you as well.